How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Daily Shoot, and today we have a ladder match stipulation has been added to a match at WWE TLC, to be specifically the triple threat WWE Tag Team Championship match will now be a ladder triple threat match for the WWE Tag Team Championship, which involved the champions, the current Jamboree champions, the New Day, and also Lucha Dragons, and lastly Usos. And I know I'm adding emphasis to their names, but that's because they already give emphasis to their names in the show anyways, and I always find it fun when they give emphasis to their names. Now this is a good thing to hear, because I would have been semi-disappointed if it was just a basic triple threat match between the Usos, Lucha Dragons, and New Day. It still was probably going to be very entertaining. I think I'm going to end up enjoying that match because I love all three teams. I'm loving the tag team division in WWE main roster at the moment, so I knew I was going to enjoy it. But now, since it's a ladder match, it's gonna be a whole new level of enjoyment. Next up, new matches added to WWE NXT TakeOver London. Now I'm really just gonna go over the card and tell you what will be coming up at the NXT TakeOver London event. The card goes as follows: NXT Championship match, Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe. WWE NXT Tag Team Championship match, Dash and Dawson versus Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy with Carmella. And NXT Women's Championship match, Bayley versus Nia Jax. Emma with Dana Brooke versus Asuka. Baron Corbin versus Apollo Crews. And all of this will be taking place at the NXT TakeOver London event on December 16th. So get excited. It's been an exciting kind of road to NXT TakeOver London. Next up, original plans for Kevin Owens on Monday Night Raw. Now, originally, Kevin Owens was planned by the WWE to be involved in the big Raw main event this past Monday, but like I said earlier, mentioned before, he was sent home with an illness. Now, if you didn't know what the big Raw main event was, it was the League of Nations, who are Sheamus, Barrett, Alberto Del Rio, Rusev, along with the New Day, versus Roman Reigns, Usos, Dean Ambrose. And honestly, I thought it was a pretty interesting match, just because I think this whole new stable, the League of Nations, is really interesting. And it seems like WWE meant to have Kevin Owens be in the League of Nations in that main event, along with the other guys in it, to represent Canada. Next up, possible name for Roman Reigns' new stable. Now, of course, like I just said recently, the League of Nations is a new stable that was formed this past Monday night on Raw. But Roman Reigns has came up with a stable of himself. Reports state that Roman Reigns made up a stable of Dean Ambrose, and the Usos will be going by the name of the family. And I think that'll be majority because, you know, Roman Reigns and the Usos are Samoan. They're related to The Rock. And you might be saying, well, the Usos aren't technically related to The Rock, but they're Samoan. It was written in stone a long time ago that every Samoan would be related to Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And lastly, no long-term plans for Del Rio's pairing with Zeb. Alberto Del Rio's partnership with Zeb Coulter is not considered to be a long-term program, according to some reports. There has already been talk about what the company wants to do with Del Rio after the two go their separate ways. As of this, there is no indication yet on what those plans may be, but they do have a direction next year that will see Alberto Del Rio without Coulter. I feel like this goes without saying. I think having Del Rio with Coulter wasn't going to last long, mostly because Coulter is that whole all-American thing, while Alberto Del Rio is Mexican. And this whole Mexican-American thing, it's pretty weird. I don't really find it that interesting or enjoyable at all. I much prefer Alberto Del Rio going on with he's full Mexican and being that Mexican that represents Mexico in the League of Nations. I think that's better and more enjoyable than what he was trying to do with Coulter.